back to the dungeon. I'm Brandon, and I am working on a dungeon game in Godot. This is episode 2 of this series. Thank you for your comments and for helping me out last time. It was very helpful. I fixed my normals. Thank you for telling me I've goofed that up. I was going too fast, and I flipped those. No, I had the wrong texture map. That's what it was. Cool. New stuff since last time. I've got this lever. Boop. It opens the gate. Oh, yeah. That works. That's fun. That's easy. I added, you already had seen last time the torches, but what I added was the ability to have objects knock into walls and kind of pull back a bit, so they're not as likely to clip through walls. It's okay if they do a little bit. It's fine. This is supposed to be inspired by like an old classic dungeon crawler type game, so I'm okay with a little bit of jank. I kind of like it, as a matter of fact. But we also added something new. We added a wieldable animation system. Boop! So we had the torch gets raised. I'd like to make that one bright, I think, when it gets raised. Go a little bit brighter. But it's fun because you can kind of reach around the corners with it, you know. The other thing, in the chest is a sword. And look, the sword has a little action on it. It also has some little glitches on the texture. We love a little glitch. That's supposed to be flat. I don't know. Come on, Blender. It is fun because it does work. Let me switch hands. I'll drop this on the ground and I'll go left-handed, and there we go. Left-handed sword swats to the left, and the torch still works on the same animation. That's fun. The reason it's fun is because everything is kind of getting to be systematized and really slick in the way it's all working. The levers are systematized to where all they're doing is sending out a signal, just to say lever number, whatever my number is, signal, and then let it go. Ooh, Godot is fun. Godot is so easy with that stuff. Creepy, come down here and something will jump out and get you. Yeah. I don't know what the dungeon is going to be like in the end, but hopefully just a bit creepy, scary, and, screaming and running and slamming gates behind yourself would be the way to go. So the other thing that I added was the stairs. Stairs going down deeper. Oh, what's around the corner? You just want to see what's around the corner, don't you? Well, we'll have to decorate this so that it doesn't all look the same. What's down that way? We don't know. I'll have to decorate things so that you don't get lost quite so easily. I do want to get deep, dark, and twisting as you go along here, but I want you to have some idea about how far you've come, or that you're retracing your steps. Now, this one I wired up to be on both of these gates, so this one is opening both of those at once. Boom. So the idea was to go around and come back up in here. That just allows me to do some dungeon design. I don't know what's going to happen on the actual design. This is just a proof of concept setup, but I think when I plan the maze out, it'll be similar to this. Another fun, stupid thing I can do. Watch this. We'll throw the lever and then jump through the gate. So I have successfully locked myself out of the starting area. Yes, indeed. Thank you. I had it to where I could accidentally click through and still trigger it, but that was because I turned my raycast to not detect solids, which that was my fault. I spent a couple of hours trying to figure out what the problem was, but it turns out I clicked a button. Yeah, don't click the wrong buttons. These would have bad guys in it, so something in there, like I imagine that chest where you got the sword might be locked and you have to get a key for it, but you gotta let some monster out and then go screaming and running to go and open the chest, hopefully. Or maybe there'll be a gate here to shut, something like that. Anyway, that's the idea of the game. Okay, let's look behind the scenes. Let's look under the hood a bit. If you're not interested in that and you just wanted to check out the retro throwback dungeon crawler game in Godot, that was where it is so far. And hopefully I'll have like a priest character and a rogue character and a warrior character. Hopefully, I don't know. I'm having fun with it. I'm trying not to overthink it, and it's I'm making a lot of progress. All of that stuff you just saw was like a week of work, dude. A week of work. Seriously, I'm excited and we're having fun. But if you don't want to see behind the scenes, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Leave a comment for Narnia. For Narnia! Or for the algorithm. Okay, under the hood. Oh, this is so cool. The ability to just add more cells is obviously fantastic, and the systematized modularity of everything. I'm making up words, or I'm trying to use bigger words than my mouth can manage. But that's been really great. But the modularity has extended into levers and gates. And right now what we're doing is that we've got an events bus. That's just an events singleton script. And I know that sounds all fancy pants, but it's not. The events script is literally just signal action. Okay, so whenever we flip a lever, it runs an animation and it sends an event signal to say my number was triggered. Okay, so a gate, all it has to do is sit there and listen to say, does that number that matches my gate number, did it get signaled? So the cool thing about that is that modularity in the dungeon expansion is that I could take any one of these levers and change the number, and it would open up a different gate. So if I took this gate, right now it's set to number 2, which matches that lever, which is number 2, and it matches that gate that was number 2. But I could have just set them all to that one, it's number 1. That lever right there could also trigger one of these others. Who knows? So you might have to lock yourself out or something like that. It could be like crazy sneaky dungeon stuff. But that's the fun thing about it. Modularity in the code is really, really cool in the setup of the whole thing because they're just an animation player and a script. So when the player clicks on it, it just looks for something in the script like... in this one, the function would be interact. So anything that's an interactable is in the groups called interactable, okay? And if it's an interactable group, it's going to look for a function, a method, you call that in Unity, it would look for that interact method and run left hand or right hand if you need to. Interaction doesn't matter, but wieldable stuff would matter, left hand, right hand. Torches, for example, torches are in the wieldable group, and they're looking for a function called wield. And in this one, it doesn't need a left hand, right hand. It just has a raised torch. But it's so simple. It's just an animation that it runs. Boop. It just raises the torch up. Okay? So with the short sword swinging around, it's a left hand or right hand version because it would look weird if you just did a basic poke. I want to put in the work, man. So the script here does want that argument of left hand, right hand. So the character clicking left or right on the mouse just sends which hand it's running, and it just runs an animation. That's all. It just runs an animation. So the animation player in Godot is so powerful. It can do so much, and I'm going to be able to add onto that as well. Any functions and scripts can actually be triggered in an animation player, which blows my mind. The other thing that I fixed, this was fun. What I did was I added a spring arm pivot. Let's grab this stuff. And watch the sword. When we hit the wall, the sword comes back, right? Boop. So it's not clipping through the wall quite so badly. It will a little bit. But yeah, so we fixed all that with a spring pivot. And that's basically like a ray cast. I'm going to do it here. We're going to do it. I brought an umbrella. I didn't just have this. So a spring pivot is like this, okay? And usually what you do is you put it, I'm going to do it. You put it on the back of a character's head and you put a camera on it, okay? So when the camera bangs into a wall, it moves closer, like that. And then when you move away, it goes out and extends about further. So it's the same thing here on these guys. So it extends out as far as it can. And when it bangs into something, it pulls it back. So now the hands are on spring pivots. There it is right there at the player root. And it can go all the way out as far as it possibly can. So there's a left and a right one there. You can barely see it here. I'm sorry. You can barely see these guys. But there they are. These little angled. I'll move it so you can see it. So, yeah. There you go. See that little. Come on. That little angled guy right there. Yeah, that's the spring pivot. So there's the root of it, and it extends all the way out to the end of it. It's basically a ray cast. So I've got a ray cast on my nose, right in the middle of my head, to be the main connector to all things out there. And the icons are right there in the world. That's the X and the plus. I can swap those out for other icons later if I want to. But yeah, that's the whole game. Later on, we'll add some more stuff. Rogues and priests and magical spells can be added, but I'm not overthinking it. I'm just having fun. But again, this is just a week of work, y'all. a week of work and I've gotten this far, so I'm having fun. This is exciting, and I had to stop and show it to you because of like every time I work on this, I'm like, I've made so much progress. I'm gonna have to put up another video. But thank you for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for your comments that were so very helpful to me. And I hope that you will tune in next time. Be awesome today. Bye.